For this construction, we are going to construct the tangent to a circle through a point not on the circle. This will be related to constructing a tangent to the circle through a point on the circle. This construction is based on the perpendicular bisector of a segment construction. We are going to begin by starting with a circle which has a center and a point outside the circle. You begin by connecting the center point to the point outside of the circle, and then you are going to construct the perpendicular bisector of that segment. So we have our circle with a center and the point outside the circle. We are going to begin by connecting the two, connecting the point and the center. So that is our segment that we are going to start with. We are now going to construct the perpendicular bisector of this segment. So what we are going to do, we have to make sure that we extend over halfway. We are going to draw our arc above the line, and we are going to draw our arc below the line. If we do it on this side, we need to repeat and do it on the other endpoint as well, drawing our arc below the line and above the line. From here, we are going to connect our red intersections in order to create our perpendicular bisector of the segment. So if I connect these, that's approximately what we want. We have the intersection, okay? So this point right here, this intersection, this green dot, that represents our midpoint of the segment. So the green dot represents our midpoint. That's the next thing that we are going to use. So if we follow the rest of our instructions, we have to measure the length from one of the endpoints to the midpoint and then log that distance. Once we have that distance, all we do, we keep our center at the midpoint and we make two arcs on the circle. So if I grab my compass, I'm going to place it on the midpoint and I am going to measure my distance to this endpoint. So we're measuring our distance using the congruent segment idea, and that is about correct. From here, what we need to do is we need to make two arcs on the circle. So I'm going to rotate it up, going to make one arc here, and then when I rotate it down, I'm going to make my other arc down here. Okay, so these two intersections, these are going to represent our points of tangency. So our blue intersection, we have 2 points of tangency. Now, all we do from here is we connect those 2 points to our line outside the circle. So we connect our point outside the circle to our point of tangency, draw this line, and this, I'm going to extend it so we can see it. That is our first tangent. And then if I connect the point to my other point of tangency, that is our second tangent. So if I add these back on, the points, this is your point of tangency number 1. This is point of tangency number 2. And this line is a tangent line to the circle from a point outside the circle, and it is congruent to this line because we know that tangents from the same exterior points are congruent. So that is how you do a construction for constructing a tangent to a circle through a point not on the circle.